Welcome to the Ref Show. We have Manchester action to start with. Both the games involving the Manchester clubs threw up big talking points for our panel. Dean Mohareb and a very seasonal David Hirst, who's so impoverished and short of work that he's getting into part. He'll be in costume, I think, when we next see him. Yeah. But yes, I think you're going to get some employment over Christmas.
Well, you never know. You never know. We can but try. I've just ordered 6 reindeer as well, so we're okay.
Excellent, excellent. Let's kick off with Pep Guardiola and Jose Mourinho. Not in that order. Jose Mourinho, the second time in a month he gets sent off. This is Manchester United 1, West Ham 1. John Moss is in the middle. Jose kicking a water bottle right down the touchline in a furious reaction to Paul Pogba receiving a yellow card for diving. Let's get the amateur view for a start. Sorry about that, Hirsty. On this, you've seen the offence, or alleged offence. This was a challenge coming in from Mark Noble. Pogba goes over. What do you make of it? What do you think?
I think it's a dive. I think it's a yellow card. I think the actual movement of the leg, I think if he stands still, he still misses him. Pogba's on his way down before the actual, anywhere near the tackle. Yeah. So I think it's a good call.
The challenge is coming in quite forcefully, regardless of
I think the kids,
there is an argument that he's taking evasive action.
Trying to get a foot on the ball that Pogba's poked away.
Yeah.
I think that's what he's waving his foot. I don't think there's a big lash or anything like that, as though he's really going to hurt somebody. Yeah. I think he's more swinging the leg to get a block on the little poke that Pogba's done.
Yellow card or not a yellow card?
Yeah, I think David's right. I think if you're going to take evasive action, you move to the side or you jump in the air. You don't throw yourself to the ground, and for me it was a clear yellow card.
So defence of John Moss, who you felt, I think, had a good game.
Yeah, I watched the whole game, and he refereed really well under a lot of pressure. The crowd at Old Trafford are not happy at the moment. The manager's under pressure. The drawing games, they should be winning. So it was quite a hostile atmosphere, and I thought he refereed really well, John Moss.
Okay, John Moss, you're defending him over that. Just one big talking point in the game, but no defence really, or is there, for a manager reacting like that on the touchline? Dean,
I think the problem is with things like kick. I mean, the initial reaction is frustration. When he goes and kicks the water bottle, from a sort of a safety point of view, obviously, you don't know where that's going to end up. It could end up in the crowd. It could end up hitting one of the ball boys. So you're left with no action. For the image of the game, he's got to be removed.
Yeah. But they're only human, though. Well, there are worse things, aren't there?
As Dean mentioned there, the pressure that they're under. The game's not going well for them. The Pogba incident, and it just boils up and boils up. Yeah. Now, is it right that he does it? He's going to let his frustration out somehow. I mean, probably we just saved a dog getting a kicking when he got home, to be fair.
I mean, that might be a funny remark, but also there's a little element of truth in that. He's not hurt anybody, the only thing he's hurt is a water bottle. You know what I mean?
But you don't know where the water. You don't know where that water bottle's going to end up.
Yeah.
So he's got to be removed. I think when you look at the difference between the way he reacts and the way somebody like Eddie Howe reacts, who undoubtedly has had more decisions over the past few weeks go against him.
Is Eddie under as much pressure as Jose, though? I mean, Jose's come to one of the biggest clubs in the world. Yeah. Things are not going right. He needs results. Like you say, the fans are getting on the back a little bit. And things boil over. And we know what a fiery character he can be anyway.
It's a lack of respect to perhaps the game as a whole. He's clearly going to get another touchline ban, isn't he? Second time in a month he's been sent off like that. Yeah. Okay. Interesting comment across Manchester from Pep Guardiola, the Manchester City manager, one of so many foreign coaches, and a comment in victory rather than defeat, which is always more effective. City winning 2-1 at Burnley, where Andre Mariner was in charge. No particular incident cited, but Guardiola's comment that I picked up was, "I have to learn about the referees in England. Sometimes it's a foul, sometimes it's not. It's a completely different game here to other countries."
What's he trying to say? I mean, I've played in other countries, and the refereeing is different over there, to what the standard is here. Whether it's right or wrong, I'm always a big backer of the referee runs the game. Yeah. If he makes a decision, that's the decision. It's as simple as that. I probably didn't think that way when I played, but we've got to let him do the job. And he's right, he has got to learn.
He's got to learn.
Yeah, but
he's saying that. What did you make of the comment, Dean?
I think, to be fair, when you go onto the continent, you go into Europe, the game is less flowing. So the referees do award generally more free kicks. There are exceptions. Yeah. There are things like, as soon as a foot comes up, they'll penalise it. So it's just a different interpretation of the law. Over here, the Premier League, the Championship, we like to see flowing football. The referees will try, where possible, to allow the game to flow. It's not always possible. So it's a fair point. I think it's the same from referees. When referees go and referee South American teams or European teams, there is a difference in the way that those players play and the way that they expect decisions to be given. So
it's not a critical comment.
No, it's not.
In fairness, he's saying, I've got to learn. It's not saying the referees have got to. It's a great approach. He and City got away with one, didn't they? I mean, early on, Burnley denied a penalty. Henrik barged over by Otamendi there.
Absolutely, yeah. And I think, you know, the learning point here is that the assistant referee who's looking right across it, first of all, there's an offside that should have been given, so it should never have got to the push. And then obviously there's the push, and the big thing is, it was highlighted on the highlights programme at the weekend. The sun is so low, and assistant referees can wear caps. They can wear gloves when it's cold, they can put a cap on. It might not look brilliant, but if it helps them get the right decision, then use every means possible. And for me, when you go out pre-match and you're on your line and you're looking across it, I would have wore a cap. And I don't think then it would have got to the stage that it got to.
I've seen that happen before, but I haven't seen it this season. Any
I once saw an England manager use an umbrella, mate.
Oh yeah, you did.
Look what happened there.
We did, and he got
I mean, that's great, and if it works and things go well, look at the stick you're under if you make the mistake again as well, with your sunglasses on, your cap and beach towel over your shoulder. You know, where does it go? But it was a definite penalty, definitely.
It didn't keep any rain off of Mr. McLaren, did it really, metaphorically?
It rained even more on it.
And I'd like to see it. A linesman wearing gloves, can you imagine?
They do.
Yeah.
They do.
Especially the guys at the back of the goal in the European games, they'd be good, because they don't do a lot, so they get cold, don't they?
I understand that.
Did you wear gloves when you played?
I did occasionally, I must admit.
That was Andy Garrett, I think, the assistant referee you mentioned there. Later on, there was an advantage on handball for City's equaliser. I mean, arguably, this was Sergio Aguero's first of 2 goals. Might have been a penalty a split second earlier, but he just delayed the whistle. Did you think that or not?
I think it was good refereeing, yeah. I was 50-50 on whether he would have given a penalty or not, but I think just delaying it a second or two and it ends up in the back of the net, you don't have a decision to make. So
there was a City penalty claim as well in that game, not awarded, I think, wasn't there? Yeah. Was there? Yeah. Ticks against referees here. Quiet games in the main, but it doesn't mean to say they don't deserve credit. Anthony Taylor, consistent. Liverpool 2, Sunderland 0. Yeah. Paul Tierney, Hull 1, West Brom 1. Arguably, do you think Paul Tierney should be getting more games at this level?
I do, actually. And I think, I said it a couple of weeks ago, I think they've got to start to be a bit more adventurous with their appointments. Yeah. There's no succession planning. The problem is the top games are going to the same referees. We've got maybe 5 referees who consistently do the big games. And in order to have succession planning, you've got to give these other referees the opportunity to be doing games on a more regular basis, because otherwise they're never going to be ready. It's like the academy player who never gets an opportunity in the first team. So Paul Tierney, Stuart Atwell are refereeing well. Get him in the Premier League more often.
We're very quick to demote them when they make mistakes, but not as quick pushing them the other way. And I think they should start doing that.
That's a very good point. Craig Pawson, Southampton 1, Everton 0. Praise from RefCam. Andy Hogg saying it was a textbook performance in terms of control without cards. And, well, predictably, Martin Atkinson, a fairly quiet game. He had a sending off there, Britos of Watford 0, Stoke 1. Any queries? No. Well, I've got a query, because referees' timekeeping is absolutely crucial, and timekeeping is crucial on the ref show as well. And when your watch isn't working, as ours isn't at the moment, and we're coming up towards a break, you need to know. I'm going to get a time check from back there while I move on to Kevin Friend, who's in form and among the goals. My word, is he among the goals. Swansea 5, Crystal Palace 4 was the game of the weekend. Fantastic. I also noticed not just 9 goals, but 9 cards. There were 9 yellow cards, which kind of got brushed to one side on the highlights, predictably enough. Does that say something about the way he handled the game and orchestrated it well and kept it to entertainment?
Yeah, the game itself was a fantastic game. 9 goals. Very rare do you see that on a Premier League game. But I thought Kevin Friend refereed it really well. And I think he, in those games, it's bound to, when the pendulum's swinging one way to the other, the tempo's going to go up, the intensity's going to go up. I think the pleasing thing for Kevin is a lot of those cautions were for challenges. So they're not technical cautions, there are ones that he can't manage, so he did well.
Well, on the card count, it was Crystal Palace won that one. Crystal Palace 5, Swansea 4. To turn it around the other way.
That one though, does it?
No, it doesn't. Alan Pardew actually complained about, he managed to bring the referee into this by saying I think, to quote him, he said the referee gifted Swansea their first goal. It was a free
It
kick.
was a free kick.
Yeah, yeah.
It was a
Correctly
free kick.
awarded,
It was a
wasn't
free
it?
kick. It was
Yeah.
a free kick.
Okay, in part two, we're going to go to the Championship, among other things. We do have a tale of incident involving penalty kicks. Leicester City 2, Middlesbrough 2. Michael Oliver, great performance. Arsenal Bournemouth is a big talking point. We'll kick off part two on that, and several Championship incidents as well. Do rejoin us. An unsettled Maverick striker who's issued a come-and-get-me plea to a rival club receives sustained abuse from his own fans. After 10 minutes, he's had enough. He deliberately hammers the ball into his own net and storms off the pitch. What now?